understand who we are, we will know that we are the ones to judge the Creator for putting us into these circumstances without even. Let's go back to Eden. So God knew that there was a snake. God knew what Eve will do. God knew what Adam will do. God knew that they were going to be tempted, that they were going to eat from the tree of knowledge. God knew all this in those writings. Now, begin to pay attention. You will see how men wrote Genesis. Let's start from there. God set humanity up in the Garden of Eden in Genesis chapter 2, 16 to 17. The command that God gave to Adam not to eat from the tree of knowledge, but at the same time God placed it in front of him. Now, why place a temptation right in front of them? God gave them free will, isn't he? Didn't he? But didn't give them any solid guidance concerning the serpent, the Satan, the snake, the talking snake. Our reasons. Number one reason was to create God, to create a God that will control people. Number two, to create gender inequality. Genesis chapter 3, 1 to 5. Serpent deceived Eve, and she acted on her curiosity, which is rooted in the free will supposedly God gave her. If you go to Job 1:12, you will see that God allowed Satan to act, meaning God allowed the serpent deceptions. Now, if you allow the serpent to deceive them, they never knew that the serpent was deceiving them, but you knew, yet you allowed it to happen. Do you know that God could have protected that tree, protected access to that tree? God could have done. In fact, he did. When they ate from the tree, God now remembered that it is time to protect the tree. So God protected the tree of life, protected the Garden of Eden, put security, cherubims with weapons. Why didn't he do that before the tragedy? No, he didn't, because he planned the whole scenario. There must be a scapegoat. There must be somebody to blame. You understand? I want you to understand the Bible fabrication. The creation of God, the man's creation of God, this entity written in a book that knows everything you are thinking, knows everything you will suffer, knows everything that will happen, can stop everything, but doesn't do that. He allows you to do what you don't need to do so that he will come and say you did it, and then he will now punish you, but he loves you. And looking into Genesis, come into Exodus 25, you will see that it's a contradiction of what happened in Genesis, because actually God punished people generation to generation based on the disobedience of Adam and Eve, which is a clear contradiction that he is not supposed to punish the children with the sins of their fathers. You see the contradiction there? Forget about the contradictions. There are 1,000 of them. The most important thing to see there is the creation of God, the invention of gender inequality crafted by men who wrote the Bible from Genesis. Now, why didn't God inform Eve about this? I thought God wasn't far away. I thought God was with them there in the Garden of Eden, or at least not so far. He wasn't living that far away. He allowed the whole thing to happen. And when it happened, look at God coming in like a helper. God showed up, killed an animal to cover their nakedness. That is in Genesis chapter 3:21. Okay? After the so-called fall, God killed an animal to cover Adam and Eve's nakedness. Despite already Adam and Eve were already covering themselves. They knew. Genesis chapter 3 verse 7. Adam and Eve immediately made clothes from fig leaves. Okay? If the story was true, they knew what to do. They figured out that they needed to cover themselves. And they did. They don't need God to make clothes for them. Now, God in the Bible was pretending to be a good God. So he went and killed an animal to make clothes for them, but at the same time come to them and say, you will suffer this from generation to generation. You will bear children in pain. The land, I caused the land. Dishing severe, brutal punishments on them, but at the same time making clothes to cover them. The clothes that they don't even need. They don't need the clothes because they were already covering themselves with the fig leaves. You understand? So you see the inconsistency. It's a clear indication that in Genesis, we are dealing with a manipulator there, not our creator. The Bible God is not our creator, and I will expose that gradually, okay? We're not going to do everything in this video. Please follow this page and share this video and come back and ask your question. I will tell you very clearly, and I'm going to expose it to you that the Bible God is not our creator. The book gods, whether it's Quran or these are not our creators. These are men created God in the image, in the likeness of men's understanding and men thought, and purposefully to control men. Genesis chapter 3:16, God punishes woman with painful childbirth, subjugation to men. That is the footprint of patriarchal fabrication there. In Galatians chapter 3:28, God claims there is no male or female in Christ. That's what the scripture is claiming there. But in the Garden of Eden, it's not the same thing, okay? Now, how do we reconcile the inconsistencies and the disparity between you punishing them severely for generation to generation? You punish them, but you are making clothes. Because you saw them, they were already making clothes for themselves. They know how to do it. They could do it. This is not the help we need from God. We don't need God to start making clothes for us. We can figure that one out. Okay? We want Him to deal with the sicknesses, deal with the pains that women are going through, to remove these things. No, He won't remove those ones, but He's pretending to make clothes. Who is this Bible God deceiving? But you believers, you are not looking, you are not seeing, you are not looking, you are believing blindly. Now, what about Cain and Abel? Cain killed Abel. Abel was the first person to give God a gift. Okay? Abel gave God a gift. Go to Genesis chapter 4 verse 8 and read that. Cain killed Abel, and God only warns Cain, but does nothing to stop the murder. Okay? In Psalm 34:18, God promised to be near the brokenhearted. It's a promise, so to keep it is another thing. But He did nothing to stop Abel's death. Yet Abel was the first person to give him an offering, a gift. When it was the time to accept the offering, God was close, accept the offering, and created enmity between him and his brother immediately. When it was time to protect him from murder or from the rage that God raised by creating favoritism, because God actually instigated the favoritism, showed Cain and Abel that I will accept the offering of this one and I will not accept the offering of the other one, without even giving explanation. So God actually became the first source of murder. Was because of God, what God did and how God acted. And God never even helped the one that gave him gift. The one that gave him gift had no child, had no house, built nothing. But the one that killed, God marked that one with protection. God gave that one protection, protected one, protected Cain, gave Cain protection, but no justice for Abel. Exodus 23 verse 7, God claims to hate injustice, yet He allowed Cain, the murderer, to live, okay? He even allowed him to go and build a city, successful city, okay? And got married. We will deal on the other topics. Who did he marry? He went there, found a woman, married the woman. Bible, ladies and gentlemen, this is the tool of the colonial master. Bible, Quran, all these things were built in order to colonize the minds of the people and keep them sometimes subjugated, that is enslaved, sometimes divide them, and most of the time keep them under control, and to consolidate power. Empires and kingdoms needed to consolidate power. So they needed something that will work as a policing tool. Let me not go there right now because of time. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19, God sets life and death before us. It looks as if it's a choice. Yet offers you, if you choose, you get punished. Why not eradicate that gift? You are giving us the gift of life and death. You are a good God. Give us only life. Don't give us death. If you choose death, it isn't. No! You are the Almighty. You know everything we don't know. You are supposed to remove the evil. No. He creates evil. God creates evil. The Bible God is not our creator. I want you to understand this. You were born innocent. You live innocent. And you will die innocent. There is no God that will judge you. There is no God that can judge you. In fact, humans, we are going to judge the Creator. I will expand on that. Okay, I'm going to elaborate on that. You never asked to be born here. You were brought here without your consent. You never asked anybody to bring you here. But here you are. Did you ask to suffer? Here you are. Did you ask to feel pains? Did you ask to have sicknesses, both the ones we can cure and the ones we are not able to cure? Did you ask anybody to bring you into this experiment called life? No. Nobody asked for your permission. You are brought here, and religion is telling you that one day you will be judged. It's a lie. Nobody is going to judge you. Actually, when we understand who we are, we will know that we are the ones to judge the Creator for putting us into these circumstances without even asking for our consent. I am going to elaborate on that. Please follow this page. Follow this. Yeah, this is something they don't want you to know. They just want you to feel guilty, born in sin, you need to be saved, you are not good enough. That's what they want you to feel. But that is the lie. That's the lie they use in controlling you. Okay? Light is come. Okay? Now that knowledge is come, what do you do with this knowledge? You begin to learn. You begin to understand that there is no such thing as hell or heaven anywhere. It's all a promise to keep the money flowing, to keep the company, the institution, to keep it prospering. But you were given these doctrines and narrative from birth. They programmed you. And here you are today as an adult. You find it difficult to question anything. Let me go back to the topic. The marking of Cain for a protection. God marked Cain for protection, but couldn't protect Abel, but marked Cain for protection. The one that killed is a creature of man, a creation of mankind, a creation of politics, a creation of government, a creation of those that wants to take control of the whole system. Some people already told me that I will go to hellfire because of my hair. That should tell you the damages that has been done on the minds of the people. Please, this is Mr. Thankful. Follow this page, like this account, share this video, and please feel free to ask your questions. Yes, I know they are controversial. It doesn't matter. We can answer the questions. I want to see you asking questions. That's the most important thing. Thank you, and see you on the next episode. This is Mr. Thankful. Like the video and share the video. Till the next time. Thank you.